Hey everyone, it's Emily here. I hope you're all having a beautiful day so far. Today I'm really excited because I finally get to reveal to you my fireplace makeover, and it looks so beautiful, but it's exactly opposite of what I was going for from the beginning. And it has just been a lot to get done, but it turned out really beautiful. So if you've been with me for a little bit, then you know that we moved back in November. Not a good time to move during the holidays, let me tell you that. But the fireplace has been cement board for her since we moved in, and it's just ugly, okay? But I really wanted to do like an old European rock look for it, and that is a lot harder to find than I thought it was going to be. And also something else hard to find was the fireplace surround. I see these pictures all over the internet and I'm like, oh, this is so pretty, especially Pinterest. It's just a galore of pictures and it's like, oh yes, I like that, I like that, I like that. Well, then you want to try to source the items and it is incredibly hard. It ends up being either 2 or 3 times your budget, or you just can't find the coloring that you want. And that's exactly what happened with this fireplace. What I thought I wanted was basically impossible for me to find, and I'm kind of picky with certain things, so I didn't want to just settle. So I completely changed the direction from my inspo pictures to what the fireplace looks like now. As you can tell, it's very different from the inspo pictures, but I am absolutely in love with it. I was so nervous if the two things were gonna go together well, and they did. My vision would actually come to life since I went in a completely opposite direction. This is actually a tile and it is rigid, it's ribbed. You can face it vertical and then you wouldn't see it as much. On camera it may not come off, but it has beautiful texture. It's a perfect color of creamy and gray together. Found it at Bedrosian's. It's called Thaddeus and it's 24 by 48. They're huge. Really happy with the tile choice. Again, it's a really opposite of what I was looking for, but I'm also very pleased with the way it looks now. And for the surround, I was not planning on doing black like our previous home. You guys been with me, you know I had a huge black fireplace and I loved it. I loved the look, but I wanted something different in this one. Well, here you go. It's actually a better option because we have a wood burning fireplace, and if you have a wood burning fireplace, you know that it can sometimes discolor, as you know, with the smoke and things like that. So the fireplace surrounds I was looking at were cast stone, and they were creamy and white or tan or gray, and I wasn't sure if they would do okay with an actual real burning fireplace. Took them 5 weeks to get back to me to say it should work, and I was like, I don't know if should is a good answer for that. So by the time they responded, I had already found a stone that I would work. It's not completely black, it has some veining in it, it's not absolute either. I found it at Bedrosian's as well, and they did a fantastic job mitering the edges the way I wanted it to look to get that kind of cast stone look. But let me tell you, the first place I sent some inspo pictures for to create a surround, they said between 15 and 25,000, and I about fell over. I was like, that is ridiculous for a fireplace surround. So I was able to find a countertop place that would meet it, and it was really affordable, and it's simple. It's hollow on the back, and they just cut 2 different pieces and put them together. Like that. If your original plan, it kind of goes astray, there's always another solution, and sometimes it turns out even better than your original. So I think this fits my style really well. I love how it looks. Stone surround is easy to clean, and if it discolors, you can't tell because it's already dark and it matches the fireplace really well. I'm really loving it. The fireplace has these open niches on each side of it. They're 4 feet by 8 feet tall, and I thought that is so nice. It's nice and big. Well, it's been a little bit of a challenge to find a cabinet to go in those spots. I thought a nice built-in cabinet would be beautiful there. Most cabinets come in 6.5 to 7 foot tall. Mine's 8 feet, so I was like, what am I gonna do with the extra space? So then I was looking at different cabinets online there. Some are astronomical. I finally found one that was $3,000 for each unit, and I was like, that's way out of my budget. Can't do that. So I'll leave the link down below because they're beautiful. But that sparked an idea for me, and I was like, well, what if I could make one? And so IKEA sells the Billy bookcase with the Augsburg doors, and I thought that could work. So I put 3 of them in, but then I changed my mind because I was originally going to do black cabinets, but that was before the fireplace was black. So I was like, okay, I'll switch it to a wood cabinet, to the wood cabinets, and then IKEA doesn't have it in stock. So scrap that idea and I'm gonna build some cabinets. So that's exactly what I did. I decided to build my very first cabinets, and let me tell you, it's easier than you think it is. I was so intimidated to do it, but I'm so glad I did. I follow a lady here on YouTube that shows you how to build cabinets and stuff, and so I followed her directions, and it was so easy, and I'm gonna do it in 2 pieces. I'm building a lower unit and then a hutch piece to go on top. So that for 1, it's easier to move. But 2, because each space isn't exactly square, I could do them each to their own. So I went to Home Depot and bought 1 sheet of sandy plywood that's 3/4 thick, and I had them cut it in strips for me for the general size. That way it'd be easier to load and not as heavy. So just know that Home Depot will cut it for you. It's really nice. I have the 3 sides, I have the 2 bottoms, and then my upper pieces. I had this Craig jig tool for the pocket holes, works well, and I'm using wood glue. I definitely suggest, if you're gonna have one of these, grab the pocket hole jig because it works so much easier. It takes a little bit of time, but it makes life just easier than trying to clamp it on every single time. This unit works fantastic. So I repeated this on every single board. So I went ahead and glued down my wood pieces together. You don't have to, but I thought, why not add a little bit extra strength? I just assembled. It's fairly easy, and then you just line up your next board and move along to the next one. So in our last house, I just used upper cabinets for our built-ins and put them on a stand, and it works just fine. But I wanted these to be a little bit more custom, especially the color was what I was looking for. So was it intimidating to start this? Absolutely. But once I started, it was fairly easy. You just got to get all your cuts right. And if I wasn't sure what to do next, I just went back to her videos and referenced them. And you can see here, I put the pocket hole part on the inside versus the outside, so that's something I can work on next time. But this was way easier than I thought it would be. Sometimes we just get in our heads and we let that kind of take over, and it doesn't need to. We can do this. Those were dry fitted into this space, then I could take my 1x2 red oak boards and start putting those on. I glued and then nailed them on, and I wanted to make sure that they fit the space really well so it looked like it built it. First door, let's see if I got it. Oh, so happy. That I didn't have was the Craig jig hinge jig. This was really handy. I'm happy I got this. I decided for the doors I wasn't going to do shaker style, but just a simple modern door for these because I like the look of it. And if later on I wanted to change it, or if this couldn't get it square, I could add trim around it because I don't have a router to make proper doors. I decided to go this route, and I think it works really well, and once it's all stained it's going to look even better. But this jig definitely is worth it. It makes life so much easier.
Never up, never down, never like a theme in a song, clever. Feeling high, feeling low at the same
And then I wasn't sure what type of hinges to get, so I bought 2 different types, and I got the full overlay for this one. And I had to put some blocking in so they would sit right, and then they do sink in like most people say this type does. So I nailed a little block there so they won't go all the way in, and then I gotta buy some handles for the units. But now I'm going to build the hutches. I'm going to basically do the same type of thing I did for the lower unit, except I'm using red oak plywood here, and I bought 4 sheets of this at Home Depot, and I had them cut each sheet down to certain sizes. That way I'd have less cuts at home. So I went with a complete list, and it just makes life so much easier. The other tool that I bought for this project was for making the shelf holes. The first part was easy. The second part is really hard when you have to line them up on the inner part. I wish that they had like a slider that you could just slide it down to keep it in place. So that was a bit challenging. I did not get that perfect, let me tell you. I have to fill a few things, but that's okay. So this is how the hutch units kind of fill the space. You can see there's an upper gap there. We are going to fill that with a filler piece. Don't worry, I didn't want it too snug, but I also wanted the top to be slightly thicker. That way you could see that, and it'd just be a little bit more of a statement piece. So next week we will finish these units out, but you can kind of see how it's looking. And then the board that's on the right is kind of the coloring that I'm going to go with. Able to put the side cabinets in. They turned out a little bit darker than I was originally planning because I stained them in a dim lit garage, which I highly do not recommend, but we can always work on that. But they definitely do not look red oak. They match the flooring really well. I like the contrast of them. I wish they were a little bit lighter, so I'm gonna work on that this week and see if I can just lighten it up a teeny bit. I used my formula that I used on my table that's red oak, and I just added a little bit of dark walnut to it to darken it, to bring out the grain, because without that, the grain doesn't pop at all, and I really wanted the grain to pop. But I really like the way they look, and I'm gonna hold off on adding the hutch pieces for now because I wanna try to do a lighter countertop to divide them and see if that looks good versus it all just being wood going up. I think it'd be nice to have a little break in there. We'll see if my idea works. If not, we just do all wood, no biggie. But next week we're going to style everything and put the whole living room together, and I'm so excited. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on the video. I'm really excited. We're gonna do a little shopping and styling, and it's gonna be really fun. Fireplace definitely leads to a little bit more of a modern look, but I'm gonna keep it traditional, which is what I like. I wanna keep it organic looking and just very light and airy in here. This was a happy accident. If the first thing you want to do doesn't work out and you just hit a lot of hurdles, it's okay, because sometimes it can look better in the end. I still think I would like the other rock too, but since I can't find the one I want, there's no reason to try to make it look that way if I can't get it the way I want, you know what I'm saying? I ended up doing a little bit of rearranging to the living room, and it's gonna be so good. I can't wait to style up everything and show you in next week's video. I hope you're just excited as I am. I'm really excited for the way the living room turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. It's definitely going a different direction than I thought it was, but I'm loving it, and I hope you are too. So yeah, we got a lot more work to put this house together and customize it the way we want to, but hopefully you will enjoy coming along that process. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on those videos. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. Check the description box below for any decor items that you're looking for. But yeah, I will see you in the next one.